Ho'oseo.
Ho'oseo.
That's a Cherokee greeting. Today I'm doing two full-bodied themes. One is going to be the spring equinox, which was just yesterday, and the other is going to be honoring Madam Deb Haaland, Secretary of the Department of Interior. And right away to show this illustration here on this shield, illustrating the spring equinox. This is a painting in a cave in Nevada, and this would be the winter, and this is the summer, and here winter is shooting the sun like an arrow, showing the seeming rapidness of the equinox day, how quickly it seems to pass. So that's where we will start on that. The first thing I'm going to show you here is my shield cover. This is a photograph of a buffalo. The photograph is by Vivian Olds in Nevada. Now she's put together a wonderful portfolio of buffalo photographs. She's made the camera her art medium. She also takes care of my art in Nevada, majorly. She has a gallery there in Wadsworth. And going with the day yesterday, an opening of a show in Nevada called Wild Nevada. And 3 of my paintings are featured in that show in Reno. So all of that to commend that. Now this piece here, I'm going to read a poem starting off this session here. This is Spring for Turtle Island. I went out to meet the wind halfway. Something new is always turning up, though the crows complain. It should be winter longer than this. For a very long time I should be buried in snow. It seems wrong that the very day that you were buried, change should ripple out in just such a way. Ha! But everything blooms in shock. The spring equinox has come, and someone else will be the teller of the seasons, since you are strangely silent. Yet, the master of language, as you are, now speaks in perfect metaphor. Wind, the red bud tree, the deer in the backyard. You continue, even so, my heart is in some snowy place. That's by Linda Ann Sudart. Good way to start. Continuing with this theme for the equinox, I'm going to Mexico. Now, myself in Mexico, I was a graduate student working on my thesis, or my project thesis, as the history of art in Mexico, in which I focused on Diego Rivera. This was 1968, and so a student visa was totally necessary because the Olympics were scheduled to be there in Mexico City, and there were some people, actually a lot of people, who wanted to embarrass the government while the world was looking in that direction. And the government responded in a very parochial way. 2 of our American teachers were arrested and exported from the country, among other things. Our suspicion was that we had an association with a particular bookstore in Mexico City, from which I got all my books, including Che Guevara, and that was the point. And so I got my master's degree in on that subject. And speaking in a sense, this is a synopsis that I have for that. The ancient Mexicans sought to create something of an empirical kind of cosmos that could bind time, so that they could introduce a variety of flexible symbols that could correlate with the knowledge that they had of their time. And this was very much what they sought, and that kind of brought about, or made a kind of a virtual cosmorama of symbols that conducted the society. Now, the rapacious Spaniards had their version, something along those lines, like that. And that was their adopted ideology of Catholicism, which was really a cathexis, that is, that it was a very narrow fixation that was more Arabic than the cosmopolitan cultures of the Mediterranean there. Consequently, the Spanish Church in Mexico suffered from an affliction of which it never cured itself, and leaving the Mexicans, the Mexicanos, ever to bear the paying body to this day. Turning in the animal belly, the mineral belly, the belly of time, the way out, the poem. That's Octavio Paz. Now, P.S., a contemporary Mexican filmmaker has touched upon this subject, and he's created a film of having Cortez come back to Mexico 500 years after his time. And the one scene I remember is he's wearing his tarnished, 16th century armor, and he's looking at modern Mexico City and exclaims, "Where's my glory?" So that's pretty wonderful. And another woman, aside on the film, touches on it too. We are still suffering the consequences of that time, and that's really important for them to be able to recognize that. And well, we're in Mexico. We're going to go down here to this. I collected this from Mexico. It's a painting that's on a grass mat. It's made of grass and it's been sewed in an ingenious way. And this painting has been put on it. And it's a painting of what is called, Chichen Itza. The actual building is called El Castillo. And it's really marvelous. I was there. And what it features, normally, in other words, this year is not normal, but normally thousands of people come on the equinox to watch this. And what happens is that the heavenly snake, Kulkan, descends here and into the temple, and with a play of light and shadow down the balustrade, like this, comes down. Actually, there's a stone head of a serpent that would be there, and everybody is witnessing this and participating in this ancient event that still is continuing at that time. And here inside there is a room that has a large stone red jaguar with a turquoise disc on his back. Actual what the name might have been, can't say what it is. But interesting, in the painting you see this tree. This tree is the ceiba tree. And you see these black things there. These are pods. These are kapok. And the kapok furnishes a kind of a silking cotton that in modern times is used as stuffing. But the tree itself is the sacred tree of ancient Mexico. So this is a marvelous thing that we have here for that event. It's only on the spring equinox that this happens. but because of the COVID virus, there's not a lot of people is going to be allowed to be witnessing that yesterday. When I was there, I practically had the place to myself. Yeah. Now we want to go on to here. You can see this here. My honor shield is honoring Deb Haaland, Madame Secretary, like that. This is the downy feather. In the eagle, the downy feather is the most like trying to say sacred because it's next to the eagle's heart there. And so the meaning in this here with that downy feather is Washinin, meaning the downy feather, and together with her, Washinishya, meaning she has self-reliance. She has trust and confidence. So that's why I have put that together. Now really doing everything to honor Deb Haaland is so major and important. And I'll just read here, like to start off with an official, March 15th. Deb Haaland is confirmed by the U.S. Senate as the 54th Secretary of the Interior. Now Deb Haaland will be at the helm of the Interior, a sprawling government agency in charge of 70,000 employees, 1/5 of the nation's land, and key offices in natural resources. The agency also oversees national parks, wild refuges, and works with endangered species conservation. A key role of the Interior's duty is to respectfully manage the government's federal trust responsibilities promised to First Nations. She will also be leading the most important government agencies affecting Indian country, such as the BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs, and the Bureau of Indian Education. All eyes are on Deb Haaland at the helm, who has frequently vowed First Nations consultation, inclusivity, and collaboration in her work. Quote, "A voice like mine has never been a cabinet secretary at the head of the Department of Interior. Growing up in my mother's Pueblo household made me fierce. I will be fierce for all of us, our planet, and all of our protected land. I am honored and ready to serve." So that is so wonderful. So I'm giving it full body as I can. Here in the Tribune is one major article about her. And I'll just read a few excerpts from that. And her new position is particularly important of history because the department that she now heads has spent much of its history abusing or neglecting America's indigenous people. Beyond the Interior's responsibility will be the well-being for the nation's 2 million Native Americans and overseeing 500 million acres of public land and federal waters and so forth, you know. And as the head of the Bureau of Indian Education, she can address the needs of a population that has suffered from abuse and dislocation at the hands of the United States government and its department for generations, and that has been disproportionately devastated by the coronavirus. Quote, "You've heard of the earth referred to as Mother Earth." And so she says, "It's difficult not to feel obligated to protect this land. And I feel every indigenous person in this country understands that." And along with Biden's campaign, has pledged to ban new permits for the oil and gas projects on public land. This has particularly aroused the ire of the Republicans in the vest pockets of those outfits. The historic moment is being celebrated by American Indians throughout the country, especially in California, where we have 109 federally recognized tribes. That's just the federally recognized one. It's a big deal to me. It's a big deal to us American Indians. But a woman in that position, I really feel that she is part of the shift. There's been a change in the way people are thinking. Here in San Diego County, we have 18 federally recognized tribes. Even at the county level, they are more inclusive of all people, no matter who you are. It really feels good. I know that First Nations people are feeling it too. It sets the stage for good discussions and good respect. So that really bring that through. Thank you for that. So I have a piece to start off with that. This looks like an Edward Curtis photograph, and this would be a Hopi maiden with the butterfly or squash blossom hairdo. Ho, ye sun, moon, stars, all ye that move in the heavens, I bid you hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Consent ye, I implore. Make its path smooth, that it may reach the brow of the first hill. Ho, ye winds, clouds, rain, mist, all ye that move in the air, I bid you hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Consent ye, I implore. Make its path smooth, that it may reach the brow of the second hill. Ho, ye hills, valleys, rivers, lakes, trees, grasses, all ye of this earth, I bid you hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Consent ye, I implore. Make its path smooth, that it may reach the brow of the third hill. Ho, ye birds, great and small, that fly in the air. Ho, ye animals, great and small, that dwell in the forest. Ho, ye insects, that creep among the grasses and burrow in the ground. I bid you hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Consent ye, I implore. Make its path smooth, that it may reach the brow of the fourth hill. Ho, all ye of the heavens, all ye of this earth, I bid you all to hear me. Into your midst has come a new life. Make its path smooth, then shall it travel beyond the four hills. Now, featuring all of this right up here, this is my portrait of Deb Haaland here, and this is the eagle feather here. So I'm honoring her. And here, this is a special pipe. The first pipe that was brought to the people by a white buffalo calf woman looks like this. This is a model of that. This is the buffalo calf bone pipe. And I put it all here just to represent white calf buffalo woman. And she gave the pipe to help the people. That's what it's for, to help the people there. The pueblo that Deb Haaland is from, the Laguna Pueblo, also, in a sense, represents all of the Pueblo people. And so with that, I have a selection of pottery, small pottery, that is all Pueblo pottery. Some of it are a little bit old, like that. But this one here is really special. this jewel, this black one. And this is is by Marcia Tafodia of Santa Clara. And it has carved on it the horned serpent known by all the people in the Southwest. And it's a real jewel. And this one, the double-necked vase, is quite characteristic of the Pueblo pottery. There's all different versions in it, but I wanted to include it here in this selection. This basket I have here because of the turtle island. This is a Hopi basket. It's a little bit old there, and it's like a treasure of knowledge. All kind of knowledge is in that. And we had been one time involved with the basket makers here, to call it that. The black here would be made by the sunflower seeds, owu. Yeah. So I have some sunflower seeds there. And inside, what's interesting in this one, there's a coiled snake inside of that. And that's a kind of a orange, reddish color made from the jojosi plant. And this was more yellow, and that's made from the blossoms of the sipavi plant also. So all these kind of things that are in it there. So we can have all of that. And I like to have this standing figure here, and behind her the rainbow. The rainbow is the tongue of the sky snake, and that it brings energy, especially healing energy, and we need a lot of that these days, right now. Oh yes, and now can you go down here to this one? This is really unusual. This is a clay figure from ancient China, maybe 2,000 years old or something. And I have her here to honor Deb Haaland, because she's holding a signet ring. And the signet is the stone of the turquoise there, in there. And this gesture is the ancient Chinese gesture for that honoring. So I'm really doing everything here I can say to honor Madam Secretary Deb Haaland. And now, my helpful poet, Mary Oliver. She's titled this, The Turtle. The turtle breaks from the blue-black skin of the water, dragging her shell with its mossy scutes across the shallows and through the rushes and over the mud flats to the uprise, to the yellow sand, to dig with her ungainly feet a nest and hunker there, spewing her white eggs down into the darkness. And you think of her patience, her fortitude, her determination to complete what she was born to do. And then you realize a greater thing. She doesn't consider what she was born to do. She is only filled with an old, blind wish. It isn't even hers, but came to her in the rain or the soft wind, which is a gate through which her life keeps walking. She can't see herself apart from the rest of the world, or the world from what she must do. Every spring, crawling up the high hill, luminous under the sand that has packed against her skin, she doesn't dream. She knows. She is a part of the pond she lives in. The tall trees are her children. The birds that swim above her are tied to her by an unbreakable string. She lies like land washed up while spring unfolds. just finish a little part. We're saying here in Turtle Island, we Native Americans have come to call North America Turtle Island. It doesn't mean that it's just an island that has a name Turtle. There's the way of it, the way that it has come about. In the sky world lives Sky Woman, and the eagles live there too. And one day, Sky Woman took to looking through a sky window down here at the earth, which in that age was submerged under the water. She saw herself reflected in the blue of the water. And something deep within her said, just take a leap. And so she did, in the form of a woman. And she wafted down towards this watery earth, while at the same time, the great mother sea turtle buoyed up to the surface of the water as Sky Woman came down and landed on her feet on the shell back of the turtle. And there she became fruitful. We remember this story to remind us of the Turtle Island nation, that we maintain a buoyant mind.
Oh.